Hi, Pep. James Ducker from the Daily Telegraph. Pep, Kevin De Bruyne has just said, when asked if winning the Champions League is a dream or an obsession for City, he said maybe both. What's your view?
It's absolutely a dream, yeah. Absolutely a dream. And, you know, to achieve things, always you have to have the correct portion of obsession, you know, to desire, to want it. When the obsession is a positive word for the fact to be desire and willing, you know, to try to do it. But of course, a dream for all of us.
Jack.
Hi, Pep. Jack Gorn from the Daily Mail. Obviously, you're massive favourites tomorrow, which is unusual for a European final like this. How do you go about keeping the players sort of focused on the job in hand?
As every single game we play during the season, this is special. But look, this press conference room, how many people we are here, but normally it doesn't happen. That is, we know exactly how important it is, the competition, but so I don't control what the people have an opinion about the type of game and just focus what you have to do. So I saw as much games as possible about Inter de Milan to try to know them as better as possible and try to do our game. At the end, everything finishes a football game, and the team who are going to perform better during 95 minutes, they will be the winners, they will be the favorites. So what happened in the past, in the season, if we can count about the history in this competition, Inter de Milan is bigger than us. But that is not important. It's not important that people say you are favorite or favorite or no favorite. This is not important. Important tomorrow at 10 p.m. Istanbul time, do the best performance as possible. That will make the difference.
Hi, Pep. Mike from BBC Radio Manchester. City fans have, in the past, made their voices known about this competition pre-kick-off, but last week İlkay Gündoğan spoke of how a positive atmosphere really helped the side at Wembley in the FA Cup final. So how important is it that perhaps City fans replicate that positive atmosphere tomorrow?
Absolutely, I completely agree with İlkay. It's a day to celebrate it. So the Inter fans, the Manchester City fans, is a day to be happy, to celebrate being here. So this is the most important feeling. So it's finished, you know, to what happened in the past is in the past. UEFA is a Champions League and UEFA is an incredible competition. So they try to organize the best competition as possible. We are here to support conditionally what UEFA is doing in this tournament. Of course, we are not going to boo anymore, and we are going to support the game and try to have fun.
Hola, Pep. Javier Alonso de Radio Nacional de España. ¿Cuáles crees que van a ser? Sé que imagino que ahora es complicado decir antes del partido, pero ¿cuáles crees que van a ser las claves de todo lo que has visto este año del Inter de Milán, que es lo más complicado? Gracias.
Bueno, muchísimas cosas. Muchísimas cosas. Un equipo habituado a no solo a defender. Hay una teoría de que los equipos italianos solo defienden. Evidentemente saben defender muy bien. Para ellos ir 0-0 es como si van ganando, pues no se ponen nunca ansiosos, pero tienen con un portero en la salida tanto Bastoni como Acerbi o Darmian con Onana son muy efectivos, y luego tienen la capacidad para contactar muy bien con sus atacantes, tanto Lautaro, Dzeko, Lukaku, Correa, si juegan, tienen la capacidad de sostener este balón. Normalmente los balones largos 10-7-10, 8-10 los pierden, estos no. El Inter tiene la capacidad de tenerla y ahí es donde son peligrosos. Pues a partir de ahí te atacan por dentro, te giran el juego, te atacan otra vez. Ya. Son difíciles de hacerlo. Si haces mano a mano te destruyen, si les dejas jugar te hunden. Y bueno, intentaremos defender lo mejor posible, tanto alto como bajo, y luego sobre todo ser nosotros con el balón y hacer un buen partido.
Hey Pep, it's Aaron from NRK here. Erling have had an expected goals of 9.6 in the last 12 games. It has not been that low since 2019. Do you have an answer on why it's that low right now, or what are your thoughts about it?
For who?
Erling Braut Haaland. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not here to discuss about the average to the right convert for Erling Haaland scoring goals. If you have doubts about Haaland scoring goals, you will be the only person. So I don't have any doubts. So tomorrow he will be ready to help us to win the Champions League.
Huzaifa Yilmaz from Arabic Post. Pep, in case you don't know, you are a source of inspiration for the Arab youth who are dreaming to be coaches one day. So I want to ask you, what are the main principles behind your success, and what's your message for every young in the Arab world who want to take the same path as you?
Have a good players. My success. Have Messi in the past, have Haaland now. This is my success. No, I'm not joking, huh? It's the truth. So.
How do you think the best out of them?
Let them feel alone they cannot do it. And let them feel that together we are in a strong team. Have the same idea. The guys who follow us or follow me, they will be here. The guys who don't try to do it, they will not be here. But every manager had success in the past, in the present, will be in the future for a long time, is because having strong institutions, and especially strong institutions, having exceptional players. So I would like to tell you, I never as a manager scored a goal, never, ever. So.
Dave?
Hi, Pep. David McDonald from the Daily Mirror. 2 years ago, you lost the final to Chelsea. What lessons do you feel you and the players learned from that defeat, that experience, that gives you the confidence there'll be a different outcome tomorrow?
I would like to tell you the lessons, but I don't know. I don't know, because it's different game. It's 2 years later, many things happen, different players, different competitions. So what I'm pretty sure that 2 seasons ago, what we planned, what we had in mind is try to have success, to do good game against Chelsea. It didn't work. And that's why all the people say the decision was wrong, and tomorrow will be the same. I have a plan, I have an idea, I communicate to the players, we're going to apply it. If it has success, the ideas will be good. If it's wrong, the ideas will be bad. So, but we are ready. I had the feeling that we are ready. The players will give absolutely everything, knowing and respecting a lot the opponents that we have ahead of us. Could not be otherwise. So, and yeah, go for it.
Hola Pep, Vicente Muglia de Argentina, del diario Le. Quería preguntarte desde lo táctico, ¿cuánto cambia enfrentar a un equipo que juega con dos atacantes más por dentro, como en el caso del Inter, y no contra otros que juegan con un delantero y gente por afuera? ¿Y qué opinás de cómo es el nivel, de cómo está hoy Lautaro para este partido?
Es claro que cambia. Jugar con dos delanteros, con un delantero, jugar con el Inter que juega con 5 en el fondo o 4, cambia. Sí, claro que cambia. Nuestra salida tiene que ser distinta, las transiciones van a ser distintas, nuestro juego de ataque va a ser distinto. Mi Lautaro un poco más, tengo que decir que cómo está jugando en los últimos tiempos. Es campeón del mundo, por tanto, si eres campeón del mundo es que tienes algo especial, sostiene bien el balón, da continuidad al juego, en el área su definición es buena. Los dos equipos estamos en la final de la Champions, algunas cosas hacemos bien los dos equipos.
Guys, I've got 2 more before training, so Fred there, please.
Hi, Pep. In a final there, of course, the details are so decisive. You have 90 minutes or just a bit more to decide the whole thing. What's the balance between following the plan, following the preset rules, and freedom, creativity for the players?
Follow the plan, give us stability. The plan helps in the uncertain moments during the game, come back where we are, our plan. That gives us, in terms of security. It's important when you play a final to have exactly what you have to do. Doing that, we will be stable. But games, there are moments that became crazy, and there one game like is going bad, we'll try to put more strikers, and we're going wrong, or we have to defend something in the last minutes, we'll put 7 central defenders, so I don't know. And there are moments that, guys, there is no tactics here, there is nothing, it's just desire, you have to go. But that will be it depends of the game is going on. In the beginning, I don't believe much. In the final, say, okay, do whatever you want, because you have to be stable in the finals, you know, defend well and attack a lot of control. They are a master to defend middle block or deep really, really well, and you have to be patient. The most important thing in this type of games is thinking that we are 0-0, thinking that we are losing. We are not losing, it's 0-0. And the Italian teams with 0-0, they are thinking we are winning, and they are not winning, it's 0-0. And that's why you have to be stable here and get rhythm, but at the same time be stable. And in the bad moments, step forward. It's going to happen. So football never knows what's going to happen, 0-0 or result 1-0 down or 1-0 up. So in both circumstances, you know, be stable.
Last one here, please, guys.
Hello, Pep. Gökmen Özcan, Fanatic News. First of all, good luck for tomorrow. And who will be most dangerous player in Inter for you tomorrow?
For the way they play. It's difficult to make high pressing because Nana is an exceptional keeper to take the decision to build up. Really, really good. And all the process they do with Bastoni in the left side especially is exceptional. And after the quality they have to the link with the strikers, like they have the ability to give an extra pass. And yeah, we have to try to defend. Sometimes I think, and I don't know how, but I try to defend the best as possible these connections, and especially with the ball, to try to attack. And always is difficult for our experience to attack 5 at the back, 3 players there in the middle. Always have been difficult. We struggle in Premier League every time it's happened, but we're going to try tomorrow find a solution to be more effective in creating problems. That is the target.
Thank you, guys.
Done? Ciao.
Hi, Kevin. John Murray from the BBC. You've been at Manchester City for such a long time now and been a part of it, been a part of this attempt to win the Champions League. And now, when it's so close, what would be obviously so momentous for the club, just give us a few thoughts and how everyone's feeling about it.
Evening. Yeah, been here a long time. For me, it's been incredible. The 8 years that I've been here. Had lots of high moments. Obviously, we've been competing in this competition, but we've not been able to win it yet. And this is probably the only little remark that people can give us. But I feel we've been consistent. We've been good in this competition, and yeah, we just need to find a way to win the first one. But yeah, if we would be able to do that, that would be obviously immense for the players, for the club, for the fans. Would obviously be something amazing.
Arlin Sadiko, Art Motion, Kosovo. Coach Inzaghi said that Manchester City is one of the best teams in Europe, and you are the favorites to win tomorrow. But what that X factor has Manchester City to be one of the best teams in Europe, because you will play 11 versus 11 tomorrow?
Well, thank you to the coach anyway. I think we work really hard to perform at the best we can do, and we've been able to win a lot of games and trophies domestically, and I think everybody knows in this room how we play, how we set up as a team offensively and defensively, and we're just gonna try and do the same tomorrow.
Hi Kevin, Simon Bajkowski, Manchester Evening News. Obviously there are challenges every season, but given the effort and the disruption of the World Cup in the middle of the season, how satisfying is it for you and the squad that you sat here one game from a treble?
Well, yeah, okay, the disruption is what it is. It's a little bit weird in a way, but in another kind of feeling, it wasn't weird at all, because you come back from the World Cup and you just go on with it. Obviously, everybody has a different feeling towards it, but you know, obviously I'm very proud and happy with what we've achieved as a team. You know, it's been amazing, whatever we've done, and we want to do the next step tomorrow to make it even more incredible. That's the only thing I can really say. You know, we've done really good as a team, and a lot of the players been incredible. So very happy.
Hi, Kevin. I'm Jens from the Norwegian newspaper VG. You talked a lot about your chemistry with Erling, but was it love at first sight when you met in the summer?
No. I'm happy with my wife. Yeah. What?
How about on the pitch? Do you think instantly there?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I don't know. It's something that I don't really can explain. And sometimes you have a feeling with a player, and you understand what he wants, and he understands what I want or what I can do. But yeah, it just clicked really well, and obviously he started scoring at an incredible rate, and that helps, and that settled him really easy in the team. But he's done it the whole year, and even, you know, in the last games, he's been really important for us in different ways. So yeah, hopefully he can do what he needs to do tomorrow.
Kevin, Emiliano, TNT Sports Mexico here. How are you? Rodri said to me on Tuesday that you will need a lot of patience tomorrow. Do you see it the same way? What kind of match do you imagine?
Well, I think we understand what Inter is. You know, they're very compact, very good side who play in a 5-3-2 normally. You know, and they always play that system under that coach. The two strikers, they hold the ball up really well, and then they have a lot of runners from midfield and fullback. So, you know, we understand what they are as a team, and they defend incredibly well. So we don't expect it to be an open game. I don't think that happens a lot in the finals anyway. So I think we have to understand not to get too nervous too quickly, and, you know, maybe there won't be a lot of chances in the beginning, but, you know, we have to try and play the way that we do, and be comfortable with our play in the game, and then hopefully we'll find openings and start to create chances and score some goals.
Hi, Kevin. I'm Zoltán Marti from Hungary. I'm here. Yes, how do you see the tactical side of the Inter? Because they are generally playing in a 3 centre-back system, which can be a 5-defender system in the defending situations. How hard exercise to the Manchester City to play this kind of style? Because this can be a little unusual.
Well, to be honest, I think in the last 5-6 years that I've played in the Premier League, I think a lot of the lower teams are playing with a 5 at maybe more 5-4-1 formation, but they do it with 2 strikers, what makes it maybe a little bit more different what we used to. But, you know, I think the advantage that Inter has at that regard in comparison to teams in England, maybe they play this all the time. They know exactly what they do, they know their system in and out, the players know their roles, so, and they're very good at it, so it's obviously going to be hard.
Alamin Kerr here. What's winning the Champions League mean for City? Is it a dream or is it an obsession, as someone described it?
Maybe both, you know, depends who you ask. I think every professional player wants to win the Champions League and wants to be at the top with their teams and also individually. So if you can win the Champions League, you've reached one of the biggest things you can do as a player and as a team. So to be able to compete year in, year out in this competition is amazing, because I've been able to compete against the best players in the world and the best teams, and you know, tomorrow we've got a chance to close that if we are good enough.
Hi, Kevin. Here, Mikel Agut from RACU in Barcelona. You were talking before about your 8 years in the club. You played the semi-final against Real Madrid, the final against Chelsea you lost, and then there's the final tomorrow. Do you feel something different? I mean, you and the whole team, this time is their time, your time. Do you feel something different?
Well, that's a question I can answer you tomorrow. You know, I don't know. you know, we lost 2 years ago. It happens, you know. We were not good enough at the day, and you have to accept it, you know. I cannot only take the good moments in my career as a team, as a player, and say all the bad moments go away, you know. You have to accept it, and you go on. But luckily, we have another chance. We have another opportunity to prove that we are able to win this competition, and we should take it in that perspective, in my mind.
Last two, please, guys. Sam?
Hi, Kevin. Sam Lee from The Athletic. It's a similar question. In terms of the squad and how they were prepared for the last final, the first one you went to together, and this one now, does it feel any different? Does it feel the same? You know, it would be easy for us to say, oh, well, they learned from last time, now they'll be better. But what does it feel like inside the squad?
I don't feel a lot of difference. Maybe the difference now is that we had to play the final last week. Was a different prospect than we had 2 years ago, where we had a long 2 weeks, I think, in preparation. So maybe that could be a good thing to play a full 90 minutes in a cup game against United. But in my view, how I try to treat myself or prepare myself for a game, I don't want to do too many things too different. You know, it's a more hectic week, I would say, with everything that goes on. But for the rest, I try to maintain as normal as possible.
Last question, please, guys.
Congratulations, Kevin, for reaching the final. Nico Sartis from Live Sport newspaper. I would like to ask you from physical option, if I could say that. We all thought that at the beginning of the season, last August, last September, when the group stages started, that it's going to be a hard season with World Cup in the middle of it. Now you have spent a lot of energy. You're the double winners, and how challenging and how much energy left for you to play this final June 10. I mean, it's too late for the season. Thank you.
Well, I think everybody will have enough energy for tomorrow. I would say, from a physical standpoint, if you're fit, you can play the whole year long. I would say mentally is more difficult than physically, because if you are in a good shape, you can play every 3-4 days. I would say mentally it's more tiring because you need sometimes the rest. But I don't see any issue in tomorrow. You know, if in that kind of occasion, the motivation will be there, the energy will be there from both sides. So, you know, I think after a final, maybe that can change, because, you know, it's basically over the season, and then you can have a drop off. But yeah, no questions in that regard from my side.
Ruben, Simon Stone, BBC. Manchester City go into this game as huge favourites, but they've never won this tournament before. What is your view looking into the game, and what is the biggest danger to Manchester City tomorrow?
Well, I guess that the biggest mistake we can make is to forget that this is a final, and people can say whatever they want, but in my mind, in our mind, there are no favorites in this game. It's a final, and the final will always be a final, no matter what you've done to reach it, to get to here. When you actually are here, you can only start to be a favorite when you get into the pitch and you start doing things.
Just in the middle here, please, in the red. Thank you.
Hi, Ruben. Good afternoon. Juan Yagüe for One Football. I would like to ask you, because the only team who has been able to beat Manchester City this season has been Brentford, which is one of the few teams in the Premier League who plays with two strikers. And tomorrow you will face the same kind of opponent with two strikers in front. How do you think that can impact to the strategy for Manchester City, and if it's going to be different for you as a defender? Thank you.
Well, there are lots of games in a season. And it's difficult to make that easy comparison you're making, at least in our minds. It's just another game for us, obviously a special one, and we'll do everything we can to be ready for it.
Just here on the right, please.
My name is Grigory Tsilingatar, Championat.com. We have seen Manchester City with Pep Guardiola for a lot of years. what is the difference of this year and how Manchester City playing now?
Well, I guess that every year is different. Every year some players get out, new players come in, and every year we have to, our biggest fight and our manager's fight, and club-wise, the biggest fight we have is to find the balance between what we've got for that season. And I think we can all definitely agree that this season we've found a special balance. To be fair, since I've came, we've always since I've been here, I've always have felt that we had built a very good and balanced and strong team. And in the end, what makes the biggest difference is what you reach in the end. We've obviously got 2 cups for now, and we're going for the last one. Do everything we can to reach it, but in the end, like I said in the beginning, I don't think it's even fair to compare different seasons because every year football changes, players change, so we just need to try and be the best version we can every new year.
Mike.
Hi, Ruben, BBC Manchester. It's Mike. Line up in that tunnel tomorrow. How will you personally feel? Will it be nerves? Will it be excitement? Knowing the size of the game for the club and what it could mean, not only for the trophy itself, but also the treble that's at stake too? Well, I think I've been saying this for a long time, not just now, in these final moments in which everything gets decided, but since a long time. When we got to these, I don't know, I would say since February, March, when the decisions come up, it's the sweet spot. And you can see the character of a team when you arrive to these stages, and you can see how much a team wants to move forward, or if your team just starts hiding. And I guess that especially since that moment, we've seen our team showing up every time. And tomorrow will be no different. It's another game. It's another time for all of us to step up to the occasion, and all of us want to be there and want to do it. So we'll be there.
Paul.
Hi, Ruben. On Saturday, we saw you giving a team talk to the players on the pitch. Is that an important part of your role to motivate the players, and will you be doing the same again tomorrow?
Well, I guess it's an important part of my role as it is of everyone else's in our team. We've got our group of 5 captains, but in the end, all of us are kind of captains of their own, and all of us can step up when the time is right. I think it's a very special characteristic our team has, because in the end, and the main word goes out to the club, because they were able to get together a group of players that probably everyone in its own past context, they were all leaders in the past context, and we've brought all those leaders together. That's why when these moments come, and not just the Champions League, but also the Premier League, also the FA Cup, throughout the years, when these moments come, we know when it's time to step up, and we know when it's time to have that strength within ourselves. So you have many voices in the dressing room, not just one, not just 5, and I think that's a special attribute our team has.
Just in the middle, please.
Libon IC Sports. Hi, Ruben. You said tomorrow isn't just another game, but a very special one. Considering this could be the treble-winning game, how are you feeling pressure-wise? Do you think also kind of in some way holds you back?
Well, we love the pressure since a long time. The pressure's been on, and we love it. The pressure in the right measure will make you run faster, will make you jump higher, will make you be more focused, and in the end, that's what these kind of games need. You just gotta embrace it like we do, and do your thing. Never forget to be yourself. But mostly, we enjoy it. We enjoy the moment. We know what it means to us, to our club, to our fans, to everyone involved, to our families, and we never forget also to enjoy it.
Just at the front here, please. Just pass it down, please. Just if you keep it coming, keep it coming. Thank you.
In Italian or in English? Italiano? Ok. Domani potrai giocare contro un attaccante come Dzeko, che ha determinate caratteristiche, o contro Lukaku. Come difensore, quale dei due ti stimola più anche dal punto di vista della sfida personale?
I almost understand everything. Almost. Just the final bit I lost you. Well, it's a final of the Champions League. We couldn't expect an easy job. It wouldn't be the final of the Champions League if there was an easy job in front of you. So we know which are the strength of Inter. It's not just 1, 2, or 3 players, like you said. But yes, the whole team, and we know that the moment we don't give them enough importance, we're already making a mistake, and we're not going to do that mistake.